waiting for, because they couldn't do anything earlier during the Remembrance Day action. They've been waiting around on all sides of the park for midnight. Normally at midnight, anyone that's been down at Washington Square Park knows that they have one or two vehicles who go through the park, letting people know that the park is closed now. What they've been waiting for is for this time to actually happen so that they could go in with a number of police officers in order to go ahead and hopefully instigate a situation. And I would not be surprised if there end up being arrests out of this situation. Because one way or another, he's never in a good position unless he can justify all the equipment he's had out there. And the number of people are low enough so that there isn't as much attention. And that's what they want to do. They want to be able to do it under the cover of darkness where no one else can see or be aware of what it is they're doing. So, as you can see, we have vehicles pulling up, all the officers that were on that side. And remember, I gave you the estimate of how much equipment, how many people were out here. So they're doing this specifically. They waited just until this time in order to do it. Normally it's the park police who go through, maybe one or two NYPD vehicles, and they never have an issue when there's a large crowd. Tonight, they want to make arrests. The gentleman right over there, he has to justify all the equipment he's had out here today. So I can guarantee you, with a 99% certainty, that they will end up making some type of arrest tonight.
Why is the sergeant doing that? I'm trying to make up for the fact that I haven't seen her.
And anyone who's been down here at any time knows that they never have this. And keep in mind, this is actually about the normal crowd that's in here on a Friday night, but they never have these many officers out here. That's how you can know it's totally different. And remember, I told you, if anyone wants to put together a lawsuit regarding specific targeting, violations of people's rights, feel free. If not, I'll be working on it. But and normally when park police and the others do it, they normally do it and let people take their time walking out once the park is closed. They're basically setting it up in a way so that people are inside. So the reason they have it blocked off is so that they can most likely arrest the people that are in there. So any arrests that happen were intentionally orchestrated for tonight. Keep that in mind. And the only reason to keep it in mind is because any of the court cases that come up from any of the arrests, remember, this was orchestrated specifically in order to do this. And it was specifically targeted at the individuals that were part of the Remembrance Day for those who'd been killed. And I was actually playing a clip of Alan Shore talking about oppression within the United States. And this is exactly what they were talking about. And a speech by Adlai Stevenson. Park Police never has these many people in here for the park. But this is what they have. So all the vehicles on the other side of the park, they're most likely blocking off that side as well. And they're going to try to funnel everyone through in one way or another. But I guarantee Commander in Charge is going to try and make a couple of arrests. This way he can justify the equipment that's out here. I keep emphasizing that. The reason is because he's deployed so much equipment, so much manpower, he has to justify it. Or else it doesn't look good and he's going to have to answer a lot of questions. So he's going to orchestrate a situation in which he can arrest someone. And he's planning to do that. And that's why I'm focused on him. And that's why he has his people here. Like I said, the park police never have to go through all of this to get people out of the park. Ever. There's normally 2 vehicles which go through, and people just filter out. They don't try to force them, they don't try to arrest them, they just let them know. They're making the announcement. They have police cars on both sides of the park. And most likely they're going to have officers moving in on the other side of the park as well. And this is what myself as well as Cop Watch has basically been waiting around to see what situation they were going to put together. And they couldn't find an excuse earlier in the day, which they were seriously working at. But they're going to use this situation. And again, like I said, normally park police would not be having all of these officers in here. They normally have 2 cars that roll through. Let people know, and people filter out bit by bit. And the difference you can tell is by the amount of equipment and manpower they have out here. So next time there's a hearing for NYPD budget, everyone better show up to that city council hearing. Every time they say that they need more money, more personnel, show up to that council hearing. Especially when they use the excuse that there's crime happening around the city. And I can pretty much guesstimate about who they're specifically going to target or looking at arresting. See, they're moving forward because they're looking for an incident. That's why he's moving up. Okay, now they're moving in. Park police never do this. They never, ever do this. He's specifically, and I guarantee the group that he's going to go target are people that were involved in Thursday's march from Stonewall, as well as those that are involved in the Remembrance Day. Those are the only people he's going to be targeting. Which, if it turns out that any of those individuals get arrested, the main reason for doing this was specifically targeting a group. which is a violation. And each one of these officers should already know that. If they actually studied law or understand this stuff, that is a specific violation. So we're just going to let it play out, guys. And it should show up on anyone following de Blasio's thread or Tish James's thread. But feel free to reach out to them by phone if you have their number. Okay, now they're moving in. It's something the park police never do. They let people filter out normally. Any arrest, if anyone that's involved in the Remembrance Day or part of Thursday's march from Stonewall, it's a specifically targeted action. Like I said, they have to justify all the equipment that they use today, all the manpower, and the commander that actually handles it, he has to justify it because he's used excessive amounts of manpower and equipment through almost every action I've seen over the last 3 months. And Cop Watch should be on the other side of the park, so feel free to go ahead and also follow any stuff coming from Cop Watch as well. And on the other side of the park, there's a shit ton of NYPD that were on the side of New York Public Library. And just so you know, there is mayor's office people out here as well. And like I said, any of you, if things do hit the fan, don't make any of the calls now. But if anything does hit the fan, if you've got, any of the city council, etc., just make sure to hit them up tomorrow. And if someone, I'll look it up later, but if someone could look up the stats for the last 7 hours, how many crimes have happened within this area, or at least within a 2-mile radius or a 1-mile radius, that these officers could have actually been out addressing as opposed to sitting around this park for 7 hours. 7 hours they were out here, and at one point in excess of 300 officers. And figure that half the assaults that happened out there could have been prevented if they had been driving by in that area. So currently everything's on the other side of the park where they've pushed them towards most likely some arguing going back as usual. Some people saying fuck the police and everything else, which always happens. But keep in mind, like I said, this was orchestrated. 7 hours. Oh, also keep in mind that after they leave, after they've pushed people out, sometime around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, people will be walking back and forth through this park like they do every night. And like I said, I'm going to be out here every Friday to see if they have these numbers of officers out here every single Friday night. Because most people know how crowded this park gets on a Friday. And if they don't have this, it was specific to Remembrance Day. Okay, I see that the guys that act as liaison with the mayor's office are actually walking over to the other side. And like I said, if you want to follow what's happening over there, I would say go ahead and pick up the stuff from Cop Watch. Okay, so they are going to be making arrests, or else these guys wouldn't be headed over there. Told you. So the only reason these guys would be going over there, unless they were called over, and like I said, the commander always looks for a reason to make arrests. Always. And it's going to be one of two situations. He's either going to use the excuse that he had a warrant for someone, or they're going to get very close to the group that's pissed off and escalate a situation. That's what usually happens. Most of the officers that have been out here basically were like, why the fuck are we out here for this? I could see it in their faces. It's sad. I don't think most of them even joined the force to deal with shit like this. Most of them actually joined so that they could actually do something out there. But, hey. And I can hear the arguing on the other side as usual. I'm going to go ahead and take a walk around anyway. Oh, just for a future note, HKM 8377 is the car he's in, just in case it isn't on the records. But because Taru went around, I'm going to take a walk around. And I also just wanted to highlight some stuff. When I did the initial stream around on the side, I basically highlighted all the NYPD vehicles that were on the other side of the park. You still have officers down on this side, so they didn't rush over on that side. And it doesn't look like they're being called to the other side of the park, so any situation that's going on over there is more of an arguing back and forth. But like I said, because I saw Taru go over there, that probably means that there's going to be something that goes down. The NYPD vehicles that were over on this side of the park aren't here, which means those are the ones that actually pulled up. The group of officers that were on the side that I was just at. They've all gone over to the south side of the park, which is the side that I'm heading towards now. And as soon as I get to the corner up here, I'll be able to have a view straight down. If everything is clear, then that'll be it. And I can still hear some arguing going on. Okay, I'm coming up to the corner, so anything going on down at this end, I'll be able to see. As long as everything's okay, I'm going to head out. And it looks like everything is calm on this side, but I'll see as I'm going. And I'm pretty much hoping it is, because I'm ready to head out after being here all this time. So we'll see how it goes. And it doesn't look as if any arrests, but you still have all the equipment deployed over here, down on this side. Yeah, and these are the playing colos people that are always out here. You want to be on? You mind? Cop watch.
Fuck 12! Fuck 12!
They're the ones, I mean, I'm out there streaming, but they really document shit that's happening out there in the neighborhoods. You know, they're out there on the streets late night, early mornings. They're out there.
Cop Watch Patrol Units, don't forget, on BT, Cop Watch America. On Netflix, Cop Watch.
Yes. Oh, God, that's right. It's good. Damn good series. There was no, they didn't arrest anyone, right?
Nah.
Okay. I didn't think so. I saw Taru coming through. That's why I said, let me head over to this side. But
They just chased everybody out.
okay. Okay. Let me head out of it. You guys stay safe.
All right.
Okay. There you have it. No arrest. Everything went down pretty smooth. I'm going to head out. As soon as I get down to the corner, just because I want to have a good bird's eye view. But keep in mind, none of this is the normal process. There was no reason to have all of those officers going through the park like that. None at all. And I think one of the reasons why things were weighted until the park closed is, one, like I said, because they couldn't justify doing it, an arrest or anything earlier. Two, I'm pretty sure at a point when I saw people from the mayor's office and a few others that actually came out on the scene, that it was drawing a little more attention. to what was happening. So they sort of switched up their tactics that they had planned for the day. With the numbers of officers, they definitely had planned to make some arrests, but that didn't happen. And again, I think that had to do because of the presence of certain individuals down there. So for those of you who shared the stuff out, I appreciate it. Those of you who may have been saw the tweet because it came through or marked through like de Blasio's Twitter or Tish James's, which I tagged in the tweet. Thanks, I appreciate that. Other than that, I'll see you guys on the front lines. Shit's still going on out there. FTP. And stay strong. Keep up the fight. Still got a lot of work to do, guys. So, I'm going to say goodnight right now. I still got to put up stuff from yesterday from Rise and Resist, as well as the march last night for Say Their Names, those who had been killed. So, solidarity